Welcome back, everybody, to the dungeon.
Ba, ba, ba,
To the
ba.
dungeon.
The Kobold Nursery.
Yeah, so we were talking about this a little bit during the break, and I wanted to wait and have the actual conversation on stream so you all could join us in it. So what the room that the party is in right now is a well-known and kind of oft-cited kind of Gygaxian morality trap that our party has managed to avoid completely by making the halflings do their dirty work for them. People talk about the kobold baby situation, right? Where you go into the caves of chaos, and there's this room, and it has like kobold babies and stuff in it. And do you kill them because you know they're evil, and they'll grow up to be evil kobolds, or do you not because they're babies? And it's this like really kind of like BS, like it has no place in D&D really in a lot of ways. And it's funny that it almost just like went right under the radar for us because instead
we sent some merry halflings in there.
Yeah,
I
evidently.
mean, the halflings are
And then
kind
we
of
came
babies
back
as
later
well.
and they'd murdered all of them. So
Yeah, evidently they are bloodthirsty killers as well. So
Yeah, when I run dungeon games, I always take this element out and say that monsters are these magical creations or something, and they don't reproduce, and they don't have like families and children and culture and stuff. They're just these things. And then when there are cultures, they're separate from like monsters.
Yeah.
But like as Andrew was saying during the break, not to put words in your mouth, Andrew, but like that if you do have culture in your dungeon, you do create this kind of like genocidal colonialism thing in when you play D&D, and it can get really, really ugly really fast.
yeah, because we're the heroes, and what the heroes do is go into other people's homes and murder them and take their things.
But the
Yeah.
justification
children.
the justification is that the world of Dungeons and Dragons, and I'm just like coming at this from the perspective of the game. The world of Dungeons and Dragons isn't like our world in that there is evil and there is good, and like evil shit is just evil. Like it's just you don't question it because they're monsters. They're evil, right? Which is weird because they have sapience and culture, but they don't really have free will, I guess, because they're evil and have to do evil stuff.
Kind of. Well, yeah, like in most D&D, that's
Yeah.
true. In this particular edition, there's just law and chaos.
Yeah.
There's actually not evil per se. And what's really interesting, because Hawthorne has protection from evil as one of her as her only spell, and it says that it protects you from creatures of different alignment,
Then
which is technically what evil means in.
Right, that's right. Yeah, good is the same alignment as you, and evil is
Yeah.
different alignment than you.
Cosmologically, that's really interesting, but in
Yeah.
a practical play sense, it gets. I mean, I think there's a good reason why in the early days of D&D, people kind of ignored alignment, except for spell effects and stuff,
Yeah.
because it can get really horrible when
Well,
you're like, these people are objectively evil.
disagreeing with me
Kind
makes
of
you
rhetoric that it's like
disagreeing
so-
with me makes you evil in a like actual magical sense. Like
Yeah,
we don't
yeah.
agree, therefore. But then their protection from evil would work against you as well.
Oh.
So
Yeah,
Everyone is evil.
I like how that would make well, I mean not everyone, but yes, you could. It's like detect a level of sameness.
yeah, it's true. Like you can.
it's all about othering.
Really, like as a true believer, and you could have loyalty tests. And
But the interesting thing about the othering though is that it applies across culture and race, right? Like
Yeah.
a chaotic human and a lawful human are evil to each other, and both like magically and actually, no matter their culture or race or like it's a flattening of all that stuff. So you're at detect opposition exactly. So it's like all about whether or not they oppose you cosmologically. It's pretty weird. I like alignment as a thing because it leads to questions like this. Like, what the hell would it be like being in a world where that was like a thing? Or you could be like, I know by magic that you're different enough from me that this spell would make it so you couldn't hurt me.
Well, I think we know, like we've lived and we continue to live in a world where people act this way.
Right.
But in this world, it's like all the horrible rhetoric of racism and tribalism can actually be like scientifically tested, sort of like.
Oh yes.
Well, and
Yeah.
what seems weird though is that it doesn't change the underlying it doesn't change the underlying culture. Like you'd think that all of the like all the people who are chaotic would just gravitate to each other. So you wouldn't be like, these are like there's a bunch of ogres. Like the Caves of Chaos kind of makes sense because everyone in the Caves of Chaos, they're chaotic. All of these like creatures. But you'd think that there would be like chaotic humans that would like. Anyway, there might still be. There might be evil humans.
But there is an
evil,
interesting like element there too, because they're chaotic. Like they're on the same side in terms of good and evil, but they're chaotic, so they fight each other. And then the law people are on the same side of good and evil, but they're too meticulous with their adherence to law, so they also don't get along. It's
which is why most people are neutral.
Yeah, exactly.
Because that makes like doing anything possible.
Yeah, yeah. And plus, there's no spells that are like protection from neutrality, right? Like, that's how it works. Cool. Yeah. Dungeons and Dragons. Like all things, problematic elements exist.
That's right.
But let's ignore those and go kill some.
We're not ignoring them. We're acknowledging them, and we're enjoying something despite its problematic elements, like you do every day with all media, forever.
Yep.
Exactly.
All right. So the room has been searched by torchlight. You have dug up some miscellaneous treasure that was overlooked by the halflings or chosen to be ignored. Yeah, now what do you want to do?
Well, since we've determined that this is, in fact, a dead end, and I feel like we did search the chieftain's room pretty thoroughly when we were in there.
Yes, before you left, totally.
So I think that we did also search the storage room pretty thoroughly. So I feel like I don't think there's any like secret doors or other exits from this little section of the caves that we've missed. Just going from how thorough we were about the places where that might have happened. Maybe there's something in hallway and whatever. But I think probably we should just head back and go to the left of that pit trap cave in.
Okay.
Is that another cave entrance thing directly to our north?
You've only seen as far as the edge of this light. Actually, I guess standing here, like near the pit trap, you would have seen a little further. So I'll.
Oh, and John, I think what you're referring to is this thing up here.
Yeah.
And that's on a level above.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Upper,
yeah, I'm using a different color to determine each layer. So that's above you. Yeah.
Okay, I see.
Yeah, so that's where the orcs came out of. That laughed at us when we were fighting.
Yeah.
And they just laughed at us, and it was.
But that's where
I believe they laughed and arrogantly slow clapped you. So
yes, and then also did this.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they
pulling
did.
out all the stops at them.
Okay. So do you want to head that way?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's our plan. We're gonna
Okay.
head in that direction.
And we're
that's another 4 turns to reach that. And I assume you're gonna take the turn to rest, right? You're on your 6th turn. You rest. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, let's see how far you get.
All right, so tally 2 torches, and we're partway through the second one.
Yeah, I just ate up one of my torches.
Yeah, it's Andrew. It's you and me who are marking torches for this, right?
Yeah.
Okay. How many torches do we have?
So it's been nine turns total since you came into the dungeon. It's been an hour and a half.
I have 21 torches.
Okay, great.
Yeah, Chunk has a bunch too. He has like.
I was just like, I'll grab a couple.
Feldrick mostly
at the cash register, and I was like, sure, I'll grab one bundle.
Okay, so John, this room extends. Both of those points that I've stopped at extend north 20 feet, and then connect across the 30 feet between them. So if you hold Alt, you can track exactly from the edge. Yeah, so sort of 20 feet up and then across where they touch. And in this room. You see, let's see here. This is, all right. Oh, this is the garbage room. Okay, so as you get here, there's a sour like stink that gets stronger and stronger as you get closer. And the back kind of corner of the room, let's find a good garbagey color. This whole area is just like full of gross trash. And by trash I mean also like poop and miscellaneous
It's
like
the litter box.
bones and yeah, and there's like maybe there's like a rusted like bucket sitting to the yes, sitting to the left of the entrance, and the pile seems to be like moving slightly occasionally.
Gross.
Like it's filled with rats.
Yes, definitely.
Gotcha.
So, are y'all down with me having a little trash fire here?
No.
No, not while we're in the cave.
Well, maybe, but we need to plan on where we're going when the place fills with smoke.
Yeah, we leave and we let
Okay.
it burn,
Yeah.
and then we come back at like tomorrow when it's done burning, and when most of the rats are hopefully dead.
That's yeah.
I mean, it's also a very like, oh hey, look, look in here. There's a fire. Everybody, some people were here. They set a fire.
So while you're standing here talking, you notice that the rats are starting to like come to investigate. So they've like a few of them have like pulled themselves out of the garbage and are like eyeballing you with their beady eyes and starting to kind of like assemble at the edges, like, poking their heads out.
No thanks.
No. Rat swarm probably can kill us. I think we should back off.
Yeah.
Okay, hang on. I'm gonna roll a reaction. Somebody, I guess whoever's in the front, roll a reaction roll, please.
All right.
I mean, that's Chunk and
Ingrid.
Thistle, right?
Chunk Flunkins.
Yeah.
You want to roll that, Chunk?
Sure, I'll roll it.
Okay.
Why not?
Look at my adventure handouts.
9.
A 9. Okay. No, that's morale. It looks like one table I did not grab. Okay, let me take a look in here.
I think it's neutral, but I
think it is too.
Pretty-
Here we
pretty
go.
sure it's roughly Apocalypse World ranges.
Yeah. Monster reactions, you got a 9?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, no attack, monster leaves or considers offers. So the rats all kind of like are looking at you. And so one of the out of the like higher part of the garbage pile, this like huge black and gray rat like pokes
Wearing
its
a little
head.
crown?
It's actually got an earring. So pinched through its ear, there's like despite the like grime stuck to the rest of the rat, there's a little like gold earring with a little diamond on it that like sparkles in the torchlight, and it like pokes its head out and kind of like looks at you. And this rat's quite big. It's like small dog size. One might say it's a giant rat. And you can see in its eyes the like limited but still present intelligence of this creature, and it kind of like eyes you suspiciously.
Chunk's reaction charisma move here was to like let the torchlight glint off the chain. So like, we're on the same page here. You got your cool earring. I got my cool chain. We're like,
Remember how there used to be a kobold chieftain, but now I'm wearing his bling?
Yeah.
Yeah. You remember that?
Bros.
So, yeah.
We can't. No one speaks like
Rat?
or rat or whatever.
I speak kobold.
I speak kobold too, actually.
Yeah. I feel like lots of us speak kobold. That's
Mm-hmm.
we could try kobold, but I don't know if we really need to say anything to them, or we're just like, sweet garbage pile, we're out. Like,
Yeah.
Guys, there's almost certainly a secret door behind this garbage pile.
yeah, well,
Almost certainly.
Hawthorne definitely will not
rats
fall
are.
through garbage.
Your loss, Hawthorne.
Chunk will though.
Yeah, Chunk's not about that action.
Yeah, I think it's like, even if we talk to them, I don't know how.
I mean, we could make them an offer in the sense like we could throw them one of our rations into the corner or something, and be like, here, we brought this. Here's food, and we're gonna like root through your.
Or we could tell them where the storeroom is. That's full of way more stuff for rats.
Yeah, I mean, if we can communicate that to them,
Yeah.
that's worth a shot. Sure. Yeah.
So yeah, Thistle will give it a try.
Okay.
She's gonna. She'll start with common,
Okay.
and then try kobold, and then if that doesn't work, try gobblish.
Okay.
So the goal here is to like lure them out, basically, to be like, "Hey, with the kobolds are dead, you can go get their stores now." You can,
Exactly. And
Yeah.
so yeah, she's gonna be like, "Hail, great rat!
Okay.
Your heap is bountiful." I don't know. Talking to rats is weird.
Okay.
What a bountiful heap of refuse, in which you've made your home. We have dispatched the kobolds, and their great storeroom lies over there.
So when you're saying this in common, the rat kind of just stares at you with its beady rat eyes, not comprehending until you say the word kobold, and then it, like, sort of squeaks angrily.
Yeah. So if I say it again in kobold, does it understand?
Yeah, yeah, it definitely, like, it sits up out of the garbage and, like, up on its,
Yeah.
like, hind legs and is, like, rubbing its little paws together, looking at you.
Yeah.
And seems like you'd almost think it's, like, nodding as you're speaking. You're like, we've dispatched the kobolds.
Yeah. Yeah, and so we're like, we look for safe passage in these caves, oh rat friend. We have secured for you a room full of such delights, such rotting items,
Okay.
such grains.
So the rats, it starts to,
I'm
like,
really trying to play up the storeroom.
Oh
and it's
yeah, totally. Yeah. Make
moldering.
make a charisma roll.
I can't wait for you to just flood this roll.
And
A straight up charisma roll.
yeah, just the charisma roll. It'll ask you for a bonus. Give yourself a +2.
Okay.
Nice
Yeah.
work. Awesome. Okay, so you kind of like you're very like bowing and scraping to the king of the rats, and it starts to squeak and like squeaking at the other rats. Some of them like dive back into the pile, but the rest of them follow this rat as it like runs past your legs, and then there's like, I don't know, like 30 more rats, all of varying sizes, that just like rush past all of you and like climb over your feet and like.
Yeah.
And the king of the rats is the last to go, and he like squeaks his way over to your feet, Thistle, and he's got a like a little leather pouch in his teeth, and he like drops it at your feet and then scrambles away.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
I bow to him, and then I pick up the pouch and like take it, look inside.
Okay, so well, you did technically just defeat the pack of rats, so let me make a note of that.
Yeah, we're doing a great job at dungeons.
All right, so 18 rats of combat size. So we'll note those. You didn't
Seriously,
have to fight.
they would have.
I'm really
Oh
glad
yeah, they
that
would have
we-
wrecked you. They would have
no.
crawled all up in your
pulled
shit.
apart. We would have died. That's what would have happened for us.
Okay, and yes, and so in the bag, so you open the bag. It's variously rat chewed, and you like pour out what's inside. And
touched
inside,
hers.
there's a thin silver chain set with 5 small gems. The gems are worth 50 gold pieces each, and the chain itself is worth 50 gold pieces.
So 350.
Yeah, 5 gems worth 50 each.
Oh, 5.
Yeah,
Okay.
5 gems.
250, and then 50 for the chain itself.
Yes.
300 total.
300. Nice. Nice.
Um,
So eventually, all of us can have bling and chains that we wear.
yeah, and this is it's like delicate with like teardrop shaped gems.
Nice.
Also kind of wants to put it on. We'll see if that like really angers anyone that we encounter. So maybe that's a bad idea because they'll be like, "That's my stuff." You're like, "It was given to me by a rat."
It's my husband's chain. He was eaten by rats.
I'm sorry for you. I've defeated them. Here's proof, I guess. I have this chain. Yeah, I'm gonna keep it in my pocket for now. It doesn't go with my adventuring outfit.
Okay.
This is like This is like
And
nice.
so you've taken a turn to
Like a
parlay with the rats.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. What would you like to do now?
Are
I
there
guess
still,
Chunks. Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna
I was gonna-
say that there's like still obviously this giant garbage pile, and there's still some rats in here because I was like, oh, we look for safe passage, and I was like, is there a secret passage behind your garbage pile, you rats? But I don't know if they're gonna get.
Yeah, like if Chunk like edges out and starts like shoves aside some of the refuse with the pole to like look for a door or something, do the rats get all freaked out, or how do they?
The rats all seem to have left. You're
okay.
alone in the room now. Yeah.
Okay. Well, great.
And I'm fine with spending a turn here, like just to rule out cool secret doors and stuff.
Yeah, root through some garbage.
Um,
There's a lot of things to eat in the other room. They're going to be busy, so.
yeah, if we spend a whole turn, that's 10 minutes, right? So.
Yep.
If Chunk clears out some of the refuse, Hawthorne will tiptoe forward and try to keep the refuse off her cloak.
Just like bunch it up, tie it in like a
Yeah.
in a cute bow up here.
Nice. Yeah. Complicated elven bow.
Okay.
Like 6 layers.
Yeah. Beautiful scarf.
What Andrew? What are your characters doing while Hawthorne and Chunk are on wall duty?
They're like kind of poking around, searching.
Yeah, they're gonna search as well.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Well, actually, Translator Pendrick isn't though. He's gonna like hang out by the entranceway and like keep an eye out.
Excellent choice. Okay.
All right. So Hawthorne succeeded. Chunk successfully checked for traps, but failed his stonecraft check.
Okay. All right. So you find no further exit from this room. You've cleared enough of the walls for Hawthorne to get a good look, and don't find you don't find any other way out from here. But you do find buried under it seems to have been dragged under the pile, and then more stuff had fallen on top of it. The very chewed up, highly decomposed body of a halfling.
All right. So that's another one down.
Yep.
They lost 1 to our crossbow, 2 to the kobold nursery, and 1 over here into the rats. Unless they just dragged that other body, but probably it's 4. And there was, what, 7 of them to start with? 6?
There was 7 to begin with, yes. Yeah, there are...
So there's maybe 3.
Could be 3 remaining halflings.
Do we get an achievement for accounting for all 7 halflings?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but one of them you have to like use an exploit to like pop through a wall to find their body. It's not really a fair achievement. All right.
I wonder if we're going to find that the cries of that helpless maiden. I wonder if it's like, they're not dwarves, so it's probably not Snow White, but
Snow White and the 7 halflings.
yeah. Yeah. Okay, well.
In that, Snow White would have just been very like well fed and gotten to hang out and get high all the time. It'd be,
Yeah,
be pretty sweet.
Yeah.
It's actually kind of terrifying seeing how many rats are in the storeroom
Right?
by them.
Yeah, that's that morale roll.
Ah, they're too big. Make them smaller.
You see a swarm of a dozen rats the size of Buicks. Really, it's a rat herd, if
We're playing
anything.
Game of World all of a sudden.
What's the halfling got on him?
In that case, it would be like rat Buick hybrids if it was Gamma World.
Yeah.
All right.
Is there anything good on the halfling body?
No. Just
Yeah.
standard adventuring type gear.
Oh, I wanted to go and like check to see if there was
Also, finding a rotting rat-chewed body under a giant pile of garbage is probably kind of horrifying.
Yeah, no, it's gross.
Yeah.
We've already established we're the real monsters, though. It doesn't phase us.
Yeah.
Doesn't phase you, right? There's no fear check in D&D.
I wanted to check for ham bone.
Mm-hmm. You want to go back to
I forgot to do that when we were right near it.
You want to go back to the place where Hambone was last seen?
Yeah,
Okay.
I do. Unless the rest of the party like really talks me out of it, I'm gonna be like, "Got my sister's sword.
That's yeah,
Family
that's
weapon. Gotta go get it." You know.
fine with me. Yeah.
Okay. And if anything horrible has happened in there, maybe it would be useful to know. You know. So
Okay.
we're cool with the rats. Hopefully, they aren't gonna just spring on us from the storeroom. I feel like we're chill. So yeah.
So that's 5 more turns at him.
It'll be 6 total. Yeah.
6. Okay.
Because you got to take one to rest.
Oh right.
Sorry, y'all.
That's okay.
I know I announced that intention before we were really in there, but then I just forgot about it until just now.
Okay. All right. So
Fine.
2, 3,
Random encounters.
6. So actually, when you turn, I guess or when you get to within like light distance, I gotta make some rolls. Excuse me a moment.
We're inside the wall. Okay.
Hey, now you're over there. How's that feel? No clipping. Okay.
Got moved.
I want that sword.
Cool. Now when you shoot an arrow at something, it dies instantly and blows up. All right.
Okay. Interesting.
Okay.
God, I love random encounter tables.
Oh my god. That's awesome.
All right. So you come around the corner, and I think maybe you hear you hear a conversation. You hear like some people speaking in common, and they seem to be taking like inventory. So someone's like, "All right, we got 6 barrels of wine. There's the meat over there," and like you can just hear them like having this conversation.
Do they sound like halflings?
I mean, they're speaking common.
Do they sound like halflings we've already met and we know their voices?
No.
Okay, just checking. Do they sound like goblins?
Definitely not. No.
We're for some reason speaking common.
They're very well spoken. Totally don't have a weird goblin accent. Yeah. And I gotta roll. Hold on.
Okay, well,
I don't think we can sneak up on them in our plate armor and shit, so we just kind of
Standard.
bundle in.
yeah.
Yeah. So you first hear them back here. You're at 60 feet from.
Before they've like seen our light, I guess.
Yeah. So maybe you hear that coming around the corner, and then someone's like, "Shh, shut up! What's that? Someone's coming! Quiet!" And you hear like some quiet like wrestling.
I think that probably we should announce ourselves because I don't want to get shot at.
Yeah. Like
No, we're here,
Hawthorne like
so-
puts a bolt in her crossbow and like covers the hallway, and Chunk maybe can call out to them or something.
Yeah, I think we need to hail them because otherwise they already know we're coming. So
Are you saying that we need to talk to them while far away?
We need to speak to them from a distance.
Yeah.
we want our voice to be somewhere that we're not physically.
This looks like a job for Pendrick. Wait, no. It's
Yeah. Chunks, go talk to them.
Yeah, I figure we could just call like, "Hail, friends."
Okay.
Well met.
Yeah.
So there's a quiet,
We
and,
don't-
and then some more like whispering. Like, what do we say? I don't. Shut up. And then somebody's like, "Hello there. Hello."
We have traveled from the keep to slay monsters.
Oh, thank the gods. Come out where we can see you.
Yeah, I figure we might as well go in there.
Okay.
We're gonna go in there.
We're holding a torch. I mean, we can't hide.
No, not through the wall. There we go.
Okay. That would be even scarier. You just emerge from
Bloop.
the
In
stone.
the stone, we're all
adventure.
just suffocating.
All right, so you see,
Yeah.
you see a human guy. He's in his probably
Human
mid 40s, wearing like a felt hat and a cloak.
Like that
he's-
really tall one that Dave was wearing the other week.
Yeah.
Like this.
It's all floppy though. It's all flopped over on one side.
Oh yeah.
And so there's him, and then he has 6 people with him, men and women, all human. mostly younger. Some of them look like they could be related to him, like his kids. And they have all been carrying like bags, or like they have burdens they've like lain aside in this room. And so the room is actually pretty like cluttered with trade goods. There's some like boxes.
And there was also that like big like pile of
yeah. There was the barrier. And so this guy, he's older. He's got like big jowly sideburns like sticking out, and a bit of a paunch. He doesn't look like he doesn't look tough at all. He looks actually kind of soft. And when you come in, he looks relieved to see you. He like looks at you and sees that you're armed and carrying torches, and
we got our little badges on too.
Yeah, when he sees the badge with the Castellan, he's like, oh, thank the gods. We were so afraid. We were being chased outside by something. Goblins, maybe. We ran inside the caves and have been holed up here for some hours now. I heard voices and a grave squeaking. I'm sorry. And he like rubs his hands in his pants to get the sweat off of them. And he walks up to Chunk and he puts his hand out. He's like, I'm Victor.
Chunk laughs and like does the handshake pull in and gives him the bro hug.
Okay, make a reaction roll.
Okay.
Attacks immediately.
He just knifes me in the rib.
Yeah, like, sucker, we got you.
Right there in the vertebrae.
The classic trap.
There is. It's possible. Okay. All right. So yeah, no. He's like okay. So he shakes your hand, and he sees the badge and he says, "So you're from the keep, eh? A stout band, if I've ever seen one. So you're here to rescue us then, and take us back to the keep?" And he kind of like looks at his employees and is like, see, like I knew, I told you.
Okay, out of character.
Yeah.
Pre-caller announcement. You wanna? We got a 9 here. We could make some kind of deal maybe for like safe passage back to the keep or some moolah.
Yeah, I mean, they were accounting for various goods when we overheard them, right? Like.
So guys, I see only one problem with this, which is that we have an obligation to the goblins.
To murder people.
Wait, what now?
Well, the goblins.
I feel like you're remembering our contractual obligations slightly differently than mine, but I am.
No, see, we're their ogre.
Yeah.
And we owe them a share of anything we find. And so if we walk out with these people that we found and the goblins see us.
Wait, you think we're going to honor the goblin contract?
I'm just saying the goblins will expect us to honor the contract. And so if the goblins see us not honoring the contract,
I see.
We have trouble with the goblins.
Well, if the goblins see us,
on the table,
we can murder them.
Great.
Like, we brought them out here to murder them in front of you, and they'll be like, what? And we'll be like, sorry. And then we'll just murder them.
Yeah, everyone has a buddy who also is ready to murder. Like, I'm here to protect you or kill you.
7?
We're gonna escort you at sword point back to the. This is how we do it.
No, my sword is drawn to fight things that are coming.
Well, also,
you're just close by.
Also, we could be like, look, in order to not be killed, the goblins are under some kind of misunderstanding that we blah 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 blah. So to make this look good for them, we're going to have to blah blah blah. Like.
Yeah, I mean we're a mostly, I think, or totally chaos aligned group here.
I love that you're aligned with chaos, blessed by the gods of law. Talking about. So, are you having this conversation like in the chaos hand sign language, or?
No, I just wanted to introduce the possibility out of character, and then we can we can say what we do here.
So I think it sounds like if they're just like, oh yeah, okay, I think that we could. I think a fair number of us like speak like either kobold or whatever.
Yeah.
There's like some chaos stuff, but I feel like we could even just be like, oh, blah 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 in kobold. Like, should we?
Yeah.
Like,
are we gonna help him? Or do you want to escort him back? And we're like, yeah, okay.
Well, let's see what they have to offer. Yeah.
So Translator Pendrick is like, well, yes, it would be the right thing to do to ensure you have safe passage to the keep.
You say that to them, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Victor seems pleased by your saying that. He says, I know that escorting a merchant and his fool children back to the keep is not a glorious job, not one full of adventure, but we could pay. Admittedly, he looks back, I have more goods than gold now, but we intend to sell all of our stock at the keep, and once I have money, then I would be certainly happy to pay you for your services.
All right,
Unless,
so let's
he says, unless you wish to take it's fine ale and wine that I have here, I could exchange you a keg of that for your services instead.
And like Thistle like turns and looks at Chunk like, well, let's not discount that out of hand. like we understand that that's obviously pretty good, but yeah.
Yeah, keg of ale, certainly not we turned away.
It's heavy.
So when people, and this is a thing that I think is funny about the lineage of role-playing games, when people play things like Final Fantasy and there's like, why is there a traitor in the middle of this dungeon? This is why. This is how this happens.
Because you can roll it. When you're 9
table.
levels deep, you can still roll it.
Yeah. I think maybe Thistle will pipe up and be like, well, yes, it would be, complicated, and we did just arrive. And also Thistle's like talking but not making eye contact with him because she's like scanning the room looking for Hambone.
Okay. Yes, you spot Hambone. I think tucked into the belt of one of the men who's with the party.
And yeah, as soon as she spots it, she'll be like, also, I require that sword.
And Victor says, yes, of course. And he gestures and he's like, give it here. And the guy is like, kind of like shakes his head. He's like, no, it's my sword. And he's like, come on. And like takes his hat off and like swats him on the head. And he's like, give it to me, you fool. And like takes the sword. And he's like, so.
Well, let's flip this around, Adam. So these guys are trying to hire 6 adventurers.
Yeah.
And their offer to us for 3 days of service, theoretically, is a keg of ale.
Yeah, I mean, they don't really understand the economy here, so...
I think that would give them if they were willing to hire us,
big penalty.
penalty.
Yeah.
So I think Feldrick is just like, you do realize that unless this keg of ale is God's own piss, is not worth enough to get you to town.
And Chunk tries to smooth it over. He's like, yeah.
He's right, though.
We're here for treasure. Several days out of our way. You must understand. It would be a loss for us on our expedition. Surely you could make it worth our while.
Or perhaps you could wait here until we're ready to go, and we'll take you back with us.
So Victor says, is that safe? I mean, this cave, it seems like the battle's already been done. We saw a decapitated kobold's body in the other room. If you think that's the best, we could stay here until you're ready to leave, but...
Oh, it's not really safe here, though.
You can see him, like, pale a little bit. Well, then we're reliant on your charity. Please, tell me, what would make a better deal than... And he looks and he says, I'm afraid I'm in over my head here.
I just nod. I'm like, you are.
Yeah, this is when the party, like, the steely mercenary eyes
exactly.
Like, sucks to be you.
We've been real friendly till now.
Yeah,
I got
you suddenly see
care.
his weak underbelly.
Yeah.
So Feldrick just chimes in with like, look, you enjoy being alive, clearly, which is why you have come here, hiding from the goblins. You want to stay alive. Your goods might be enough.
He
all
looks,
of them.
Yeah, he was about to be like, all of it? And you're like, all of them. Okay.
As it stands now, without us, you'll be dead, and no one will even get to enjoy this fun.
Make a charisma roll. Take a +2.
Okay, good. I need that +2 to balance out my -1. Oh,
Nice.
nailed
Okay.
it.
All right. So he nods and he's like, I suppose we have little choice. And one of the women that's with him is like, Father, no, that's all we have. And he's like, no, my girl, all we have is our lives. And these, and he gestures to the goods, these are yours if you can get me and my family back to the keep safely. It's what their mother would have wanted.
It's a good thing we don't have
Almost
feelings.
orphans.
Yeah.
I mean, this guy somehow led his family into a kobold lair in the caves of
This
chaos.
guy is.
It's really not our fault.
He took a wrong turn and is in a bad neighborhood.
He took a lot of wrong turns.
Yeah, this is not the family road trip they were
This is
anticipating.
You've gone into a creepy abandoned house on the dead end, like sketchy cul-de-sac, a day walking to.
Yeah, they're like the family from the Midwest that somehow ends up in like the worst part of the worst city, and not only that, but find themselves like in the kitchen of like a drug den, and they're like, "How did we get here?"
We're scared and confused.
I'm sorry, is this your meth lab? How did we? I don't know.
And so
They're
then
the
Feldrick is also like,
Griswolds, is what they are. National Lampoon's Dungeon Vacation.
Feldrick's just like, and we should move quickly before the rats are done eating.
And he's like, the rats? Yes, gather everything up. And like,
And Feldrick's just like making the hand gesture for like how big the rat is.
right. So they're scrambling and like pulling like stuff onto their shoulders and getting ready to go. So you took a turn to negotiate that, and let's see. So you need to now escape from yon dungeon.
We just go back to town like every other day, sir.
Yeah.
We just like.
Yeah, I
It's a
mean,
good thing we got this blessing.
Yep.
Have we been using the blessing for anything? We haven't done
No.
anything.
no.
None of the things that require the blessing have come up because we're too
Yeah.
good at D&D, too capable.
All right.
That's a good thing, really. If we don't have to use the blessing, it's all good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like insurance. You're like,
Yeah,
the
exactly.
insurance company, I bet you I'm going to get hurt. And the insurance company's like, bet you won't.
So it'll take 7 turns to get to the entrance of the cave.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
I've docked another torch.
All right.
So how many torches are we through now?
I think that's a 5-torch trip, according to my notes. Is that roughly right?
Oh, I need to dock another
Yes. Well, no, it's 4 because once you get to the entrance, you don't need to light another one.
Yeah.
Oh, because that's the very last
That's
turn.
the very last
Yeah.
turn. You emerge
Yeah,
from
yeah.
the cave.
So we've used 4 torches total.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a good way to like round off. We've done this whole section.
Yeah, you've cleared this area.
It's great.
It's good. Yeah, I like it. I think that's a good trip.
And I doubt that there would have been like any other random treasures would have just popped up in those rooms if they're bringing all their stuff with them.
Yeah, we cleared it out. Now we know we can go in somewhere else next time.
Yeah.
There's no secret doors. We know that. It's all good.
All right. So
Meet friends, you know.
when you get to the entrance of the cave, let's see.
There's a parade for us.
Finally.
Ugh.
Between these 2 trees, right here, you see a group of goblins
No.
standing waiting for you outside the cave. You see Snot, Richard, and another as yet unnamed goblin standing there with their arms folded, waiting for you to emerge.
Damn it, Richard.
Richard.
And why don't we take a break here and we'll deal with goblins when we get back?
Yeah.
That sound
All right.
good? Okay, cool. Stick around. We'll be back in just a couple of minutes.